Greetings, the Astro 30 here yet again, and welcome back to AEL. Thank you for joining me. Now, today I'm going to look back at a very old publication that was first published in around about 1983 by Dick Smith Electronics, which was Funway into Electronics Volume 2. And I'm going to be looking at project number 10, which is a simple amplifier. And originally the purpose of this was to connect the previous project, I think it's number 7, which was a pocket transistor radio, to an output amplifier to drive a speaker. So it says here, one of the most popular projects made by electronics hobbyists is the audio amplifier. I tend to agree. After all, an audio amplifier is particularly useful, as well as the more obvious uses it can be used to troubleshoot other projects. In other words, making like a signal tracer. So there's the schematic. It's pretty simple. We've got a 2-stage amplifier with feedback with this resistor here, and the gain, overall gain of the stage, is set by this 1K resistor and 100 microfarad capacitor, which drives the secondary of this 3K to 3K coupling transformer. Then the other side, the primary, drives to output transistors, both NPN, and this forms basically a Class B push-pull amplifier. These components R4, D1 and R5 with reference to ground and positive at the emitters here helps to bring these transistors into proper conduction so we're not experiencing too much crossover distortion. This capacitor just smooths out high frequencies and stops it from oscillating, keeping it stable, which drives the primary, which is 1K of the output transformer, reference to the positive, finally to the speaker, which is 8 ohms, so this is a 1K to 8 ohm coupling transformer. And this capacitor here just decouples the battery. Very simple. So I'm going to build this up on breadboard and see if this actually works as well as it did from memory. Well, I've got the little circuit built up on a bit of breadboard. It does work, but it does have a severe oscillation problem. I don't remember that as a kit back in the 90s it ever doing that. And as far as I know, everything is connected right, and it is doing something. If I remove the feedback capacitor, well, the oscillation goes away, and I can get a bit of output. I'm wondering if that capacitor is just too high. That was 100 microfarad, so I'll place a 10 in its place. If I can get it to go in there. It's a brand new board. So okay, it is not oscillating now, but I also found when I connect the volume pipe and have it rotated all the way down to ground, it starts oscillating again. Pipe is installed all the way fully clockwise. And yeah, so I don't know if it's because of the breadboard layout here or what, or there's just not enough filtering going on the input here. It's supposed to run off of a 9-volt battery, but I don't actually have one. So let me just try an experiment. So I've added a large 2200 microfarad 35 volt, I believe it is, capacitor across the supply. Didn't make a difference. It's still oscillating more than a cheap hooker. Yeah, not much difference at all. So that's annoying. Right, I'm going to go back through the circuit and make sure everything is connected correctly, and I haven't inadvertently forgot to connect something, which always seems to happen. But yeah, I think with the 100 microfarad capacitor there's just too much gain. The 10 seems to work okay, but yeah, I can't stop it from doing that. That seems a little better. I changed the 22 ohm resistor that went between the cathode of this diode and ground and the emitters of these to output transistors, and that leveled it off so it stopped oscillating. It's a very noisy operating amp though. So I'm picking up noise from somewhere, probably a switch mode power supply or something. So it does work. And I've left it at 10 microfarad because 100 is just too high for the feedback cap. Let's put the oscillator connected. That's as low as that oscillator goes too. I'm going to have to put a series resistor in with the oscillator so it's not overpowering it. Well, I got it to behave a little bit better. But it is kind of distorted. That might be my input signal too. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have much gain now, but I've gone back to the 100 microfarad and I added a few modifications to the circuit by looking at another circuit in the book which uses a similar layout of the original amplifier, but there's a few changes. We've got a resistor here, 47 ohm, in series with the, well in this case it's now 100 nanofarad ceramic capacitor instead of the 473, 0.047. We've also got a 470 ohm resistor here in the emitter of TR1, and that did make a difference. We've also got a 150 ohm resistor in series with this 10 nanofarad capacitor that goes between the positive and the other end of this secondary of that transformer. And that's actually for his Intercom amplifier, which I know worked a lot better than this. So yeah, it's got distortion. It sounds absolutely terrible. So I'm going to do the right thing, completely ignore that, and I'm going to hook it up to another speaker. God, that sounds terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds awful. I mean, I don't expect hi-fi quality, but that's about the maximum amount of gain I can get out of it without distorting. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 1 2 3. Yes. Testing 1 2. Well, in the interests of science, oh, it's actually picking me up from over here and amplifying into the speaker. In the interest of science, I connected up a electret microphone to the input with a 22k pull-up resistor to the positive rail. On this side of the capacitor, so we don't have DC running through the pot, because the other side of the capacitor goes to the top end of the pot, center goes out to this capacitor, and yeah, it does actually amplify, but it's not the greatest thing. Whoops, bang the camera. It's not the greatest thing in the world. So yeah, the circuit used to work, as far as I remember when I built it back in the 90s. I built both this version of the circuit that I've got now, which was the Intercom, and I also built the original 4 transistor amplifier that I originally started with. And from memory they worked a lot better than this. Now the only other thing I can think of is what's happening here is the layout and the extra capacitance that the breadboard may be introducing into the circuit. That may be the whole entire problem. So there is that. Because if I had another output transformer like this, I'd connect it somewhere over there, connect the speaker, another speaker, into it, into the input like it's wired in the intercom. And yeah, well, it probably would sound a lot better, but yeah. For a simple little circuit like this, probably originally designed in about 1983, I mean, you can't really complain. Dick did like to play around with stuff. That sounded totally wrong. But no, as an audio amplifier for amplifying a signal such as off the computer, it's not good. It's distorted as hell. Even with the volume set right down and going through 100k series resistor, it's just, yeah, terrible. Other than that, it's a good fun little exercise project. I may one day decide to actually put this on prototype board, like Breadboard or something, and actually build the circuit properly, so that yeah, we don't have stray capacitance and all that rubbish going on here. Anyway, I thought I'd just share this because I thought it was interesting. I'm the Astro 30, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to go down below, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, this is the Astro 30 saying see ya, thanks for watching, have a great day.